Recording began. It's been a few weeks since they first arrived, taking up Bean's old residence near the friend portal. Since then, they've established their home base there, constructing a bridge and sending out scouts. They appear to be gathering on said bridge, preparing for something towards the beach. I've never been much of a skeptic, but we are facing a crisis, that of which the server has never seen before, and we can't stand around and let these invaders take over. We need big plans, and I'll need help. Hello everyone, and welcome to RealmSMP episode number 11. In the last episode, we took on a few of these islands and made the floating biomes, I've begun calling them. These 3 islands turned out great, and I am still extremely happy with how they look. I think they add a lot to the base and look even better once I get some of these smaller islands converted. But that probably won't be for today's episode. I don't know. It depends on how long the other stuff takes. Speaking of that other stuff, I alluded to what we'll be doing today a bit in that intro sequence. Hope you all liked it, by the way. It was a lot of fun to put together. There's all of these Martians being set up over at Bean's area, and there's even like Martians on the bridge going towards the beach, which I've been trying to ignore, but it's become a bit of a mess. I think Bean mined all the sand like a week or so ago now, and then the others started spreading the skulk on the beach for some reason. I don't know why, but this is just kind of what it looks like now. I try my best to ignore it. I'm kind of glad I got these 3 islands in now, so I don't have to look at it too much. Very good natural wall. But with that being said, I do want to get more information on these things and begin to keep more of an eye on them. So I do have a clip to show you guys of a past experience I had with Autumn and Ferris. So I'll go ahead and play that for you, and then I'll explain a bit more of what we'll be doing today. So I don't know about you guys, but there's been a lot of weird happenings.
Yeah,
mainly
a little bit.
If you you won't be able to see it, but at my base during the pool party, there's like the spaceship in the
UFO.
the UFO, and there's been more of them popping up, as well as like a big one over near the friend portal.
I did see the big one, yeah.
And I'm not
seen the big one.
It's not like too big.
It's not airborne
but
yet.
The issue is we didn't have any aliens before, so I don't know where they're coming from now. The important thing is I have a lot of questions about these Martians and not a lot of answers.
I do, yeah.
And so my little proposal here is that we got to make some type of organization to kind of figure out what the hell is going on here. What do they want? What are they friendly? Are they enemies? I don't know.
Well, I do know one thing. They want to look at Sherbert's crystal. That's all I know.
They want to look at so they're after some magic.
Mr. Bean told me. I don't know. They just said they wanted to look at it.
You've been in contact with them.
A little bit.
Okay, that could be useful info.
I've been in contact with the Bean Man. He's been my source of info.
What is his relation to these Martians?
To the Martians?
Yeah.
It seems that he well, I don't know if this is anymore, but he seemed to worship them at some point. Something like that.
We'll have to keep an eye on him then. Look, all I'm here to say is just to sum it up once again. We need some type of we probably need daytime, actually. Hang on.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
And if these guys are proven to be hostile at all, we need a way of containing or eliminating them. Basically, we gotta defend their RealmSMP from this oncoming possible threat. But we gotta be quiet in doing so. If they know what we're doing, they're gonna, make it difficult. Are we in agreement here? Are we doing something about this?
Yeah,
I'll look into it.
The protection of magic, and this seems like that.
All right, well,
it seems to be in the area.
How about for now, we'll just all gather information separately. Maybe do a bit of spying on the side. Make sure you are not seen, and we'll come together when we have more of a plan, and we'll establish some sort of HQ.
So I can't go up to him and ask him a bunch of questions.
You can ask questions, just don't. Don't be weird.
Okay, lovely.
Be slick.
I've never been overly,
aggressive.
Yeah, I never. Yeah, never. I would never.
Well, you two have a good day. Be safe. If there's anything that you need to get into contact with me for, you know how to get in contact.
All right.
Good luck.
Just put
all
up
right.
the Medulla signal, and you'll be.
There you go. And now that you guys have a bit more context on the whole alien thing down there, it's time to get into the main content for today's video. And that is, I want to build an observatory to make sure we can keep an eye on everything. Especially in space, because I guess that's a important thing to keep an eye on now. But also to keep a closer eye on this guy, one of the scouts. Now, there are currently 2 scouts in the air. There is a 3rd one down there, it looks like, just kind of on the runway. As well as the main mothership, maybe? I don't know if that's the main mothership, and I'm not sure what that is. But it's a bigger one. But as I was saying about the scouts, there are 2 scouts currently in the air. One of them is here above the pool. The other one is over at Sherbert's base, which is weird because Ferris did mention that they were looking towards the crystal. So that maybe that one's objective. I don't know what they want with the crystals, but we gotta be careful. Because there'll be a crystal here soon, and they may have their eyes on that as well. This island I imagine would be the perfect one for the observatory. I want it high up, and that one it'd be a bit blocked by the other islands. I don't know how much that makes sense. But there is an issue. This island won't really work here anymore because of how I've been doing them. I'm kind of scared that it's going to be too close to this island and it's going to kind of clip it. It would probably not, but I want to move it just to be safe and to make it maybe a little less clumped. So I'm going to move it a bit to the right. And then I may also make this island a snowy one like that one. Since I want a bit more biome diversity. So let me quickly move over the island and then make it snow and ice. Alright, I moved the island over and I got rid of the old one. It looks really weird having that space be empty now, but it should be fine. Maybe I'll put like a smaller island or I'll figure something to put there. If anything, it may just take some getting used to. The important thing is I have the new island set up here and it will be a snow biome as I said. So I'm going to have to do some taiga trees. But before I do that, I want to make sure I actually have enough room to put the observatory. I'm probably going to have the front facing this way because I'll have the rocks coming around to this side. The next step is to actually get the observatory going, which is going to be a bit more tricky than I had first thought because I am now realizing that I don't actually have any ideas on what I want to do for this. So I may go to a quick testing world and just see if I can come up with some type of idea and then replicate it here. Alright, I'm here in my creative testing world. I do want it to be known that I don't use this world very often, mainly just for the trees as you can see, but I've really never done an observatory before and I want to make sure I get it right before I waste all that time building it. This is what I have cooked up so far. There's not much of an observatory here, but it's not looking awful and I kind of like it. It's homely. This tower here will be the observatory. I just gotta build it up a bit more. I was mainly focusing on this like little house part at the front. Nice little, opening. I can have like a table here or something, and you walk in and have a staircase up to the actual observatory. Yeah, I think it'll look really nice once I get it done. But I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an update. I'm going to do a bit more work, and then I'll see you guys again here quickly. A bit more cooking done now. I have the house part basically complete. I think it'll be very nice to store some of our info that we gather from the actual observatory. I have to do the tower part, and then it should be done. We'll be ready to go ahead and move it over into the actual realm. And the observatory is done. I really like how it looked. I did some experimentation with the roof here. I originally used copper. I went with granite for 2 reasons. One, because Ferris is a really annoying rule on the server where you have to like get permission from him to use copper, and then you gotta fill the whole sheet. And if you do it wrong, he'll fine you. And I just don't feel like going through all that. So I went with granite. And 2, I like the more muted colors that granite gives compared to copper. And I feel like the copper would look kind of weird with my base because this is a very stone and wood heavy build, which is exactly what my other builds have been so far, mainly the tower. I think that's only the build. And I feel like going with the copper would just be too much. I think this will match it more, which is kind of the stuff I'm going for. The only other thing left to do then is to actually transport this onto the server, which is definitely easier said than done. So I'm going to go ahead and see you guys once I actually have that done. Alright, I've done a bit more work, and after the time lapse, it is all done, and the top of this island is looking really, really nice. It'll look better once I have the bottom, obviously, because right now it's just a floating singular layer thing. But I really like how the observatory turned out, and I think the trees added a lot, as well as the path here out front. I still have to do the interior, but I'm going to say that for after the bottom of the island, because I'm really bad with interiors, and I don't have a ton of ideas for this. I may also expand down to the basement once I have the actual island underside done, in case we have any more information that we gotta store down there regarding these aliens. They're doing more stuff, by the way. I can't deal with that right now, but we're gonna have to speak with Autumn and Ferris soon, because this is getting a bit out of hand. They're doing a lot of stuff while I'm working on this observatory. Another time lapse to the bottom of this island. Let's get to it. Observatory Island is done and looking wonderful, much like all the other islands. I think it fits in perfectly, especially with the snow biome, adding a bit more variety that I am going for now. While I did the bottom of the island, I also did a bit of interior work, so we're going to check that out real fast. It's not much. There'll be more as time goes on, but it's a start. You walk in, you have a nice little reception area, nice plant. Another plant. There's nothing here yet. There'll be stuff here eventually. Next episode, probably. You go up the stairs, the lanterns, then you have my little workshop area. Map of the RealmSMP, well, at least the important areas. We have the alien base centered. And we have this weird growth of skulk that I will have to look into because it seems to be related to this whole alien shenanigans. But I'll have to speak with Autumn and Ferris about that, because maybe we can split up the workload a bit. I have my book and spyglass here on the table. If I ever need them, just grab them, look out the window, write down some notes. I got lots of books here that I've been reading, researching, nothing much yet, but I'm sure I can find more. And then if we go upstairs a little bit more, we have the actual telescope to look into the stars, a nice plant, another book for my notes, and a bamboo. I know the decorations are not a lot, but I think they do enough to where it's a little homely in there now, which is nice. I'll have to have a meeting with Ferris and Autumn here in a bit. As I said, they're not on right now, but once they are on, I'll go ahead and give them a message. But in the meantime, I do want to add some more floating rocks just to connect a few more of these islands and to start preparing for the last thing I'm going to do today, which is I'm going to build a crystal right here. Specifically an air crystal. As on this server, all of our magic comes from these cores, which take the form of the crystals. Sherbert has one, and now it's time for me to get mine, since, you know, I do have a bit of air magic, if you couldn't tell. What are you looking at?
The wall. What do you mean?
Oh, okay.
What else would I be looking at? There's some fine moss here.
Fine moss, yeah, mossy.
Yeah. It's very strange. There's snow, but there's a lot of moss.
Hey, it's a snowy type of moss.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
what did you say?
Yeah. Okay, so a few days back, maybe like a week or so, we had a conversation. I don't know if either of you remember that conversation. It was in regards to our visitors.
Yeah.
I'm sure Autumn remembered it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I suggested that we work together and do something about this threat, and here I am ready to forward that a bit more, if you two are willing.
Well,
can I get some specifics?
Okay. I want to make some type of organization to stand up against these Martians and any other threats possible to the realm SMP and its world and its people. Would you two be interested in joining me?
That seems like causes that I'm pretty for. So
look, Ferris, all I'm saying is if you join, it'd give you a lot of charity points, which you can turn into a profit.
Yeah, a lot of charity points.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So I could definitely exploit that. The only downside is I'm already kind of a part of it, or I have a little group here.
Well, this is mainly geared towards the Martians.
Okay, yeah, I can multitask.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you two will come with me,
a little bit.
I'll share some info about what we have on these so-called Martians so far here in the Observatory, as I like to call it. Up here's my little workstation. Here's a map of the surrounding area that the Martians could be threatening. I do need to make it go a little more to the left here because I believe they are towards Sherbert's base as well.
I do believe they have one at Sherbert's, yeah.
But the main encampment is right here at the bridge and across. And I don't know if you guys have seen, but they have Martian troops lined up across the bridge and even a little bit past it now.
They're gearing up.
They're gearing up for something.
Yeah, it's very suspicious.
There's also, it appears, a new UFO that's sprouted up since I've last logged my information down in the impasse area. It seems to be picking up some type of land.
Yeah, I think Bean mentioned something about it clearing the way.
Clearing the okay. That's not great. But there's another thing that I haven't been paying much attention to that I'm now starting to worry about, and that is what appears to be the skulk that is spreading on the beach.
Yeah. Yeah, that popped up.
I don't have answers on any of these things, and I would like to get them. So I have a few things I would like to ask you two to do while I continue trying to gather information here. First of all, Ferris,
I'll take a side quest.
I have a very important job for you.
Ooh, I love important jobs.
You know, we have a new organization, right? But we don't know what it's called. We don't know its branding.
Ooh.
So I need you to handle the branding.
That's.
I want some type of icon. I want a name.
An icon, a name.
Yeah, I want when someone says our name, I want them to know what we're here for and what we stand for.
All right.
I'm also going to ask you to help Autumn somewhat. Mainly, I just need you to supply her with some of your robots to help her job.
Some of my robots?
Autumn.
Yeah?
I need you to do some research. I can handle the Martian side, but I don't know what this skulk is about. So I need you I know you have a lot of books. I don't know if any of those books say anything about this. I would like you to read them, and I would like you to set up a bit of a lab area around the skulk on the beach just to see if we can get any samples and figure out what it is and if it has any threats to us.
Alright, I think I've read a thing or two about Skulk. I should
make sure you touch up on it then. And then you can bring your findings back to me.
I've had to dodge a couple wardens.
Yeah, okay. Well,
if Autumn needs any help with that, make sure you do whatever you can to help her on the side. Make sure your branding's the main thing though. So
all right, lovely.
I can trust you with that. Yes.
Yeah.
I think that'll be it for now. We'll reconvene in a bit, see our findings type of thing. Good luck out there.
Alrighty.
And that is all I have time for in today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed the little side story we have going on. There's a Ferris watching me do the outro. But anyway, I just wanted to let it be known that our little side story here is entirely for fun, and it won't be like a main part of most episodes. In fact, next episode probably won't have much about it anyway. It's just a fun little side thing that we'll do from time to time. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and I'll see you guys back in a few days for episode number 12. Goodbye.